Hey everyone, welcome back to our Big Six in 60. A little bit of background on tonight's topic. These three divides come from the 2024 National Educational Technology Plan, which elaborates on three digital divides that they see in education. And those are digital use, digital access, and digital design. We've incorporated these divides as some of the things that we're focusing on in the DTL grant. And so we wanted to dive into them a little bit deeper. Starting with digital design. So we'll go through like a quick rundown of what each of these are, and then we'll look specifically at how you can use Adobe to address design. So the digital use divide specifically looks at how students are using the technology. So are they active users or are they more passive users? Or in other words, are your students being creators or are they merely just consuming content that other people have created? So that's digital use. The digital access divide looks at how do students access the technology or the learning. So this is very much like, what do they have physically around them? Do they have Wi-Fi access? Do they have access to the tool for learning? iPads, Chromebooks, laptops? Do they have the digital skills necessary to access the technology? Accessibility, do they have the resources available to learn the material that's available online? The digital design divide is actually focused on the teachers and looking at what supports do teachers have to design good learning. Do they have the time? Do they have the scaffolding in place? And do they have the resources available to not only create good learning experiences, but also have the know-how to use it effectively? So today's video is going to be 3 tips to bridge the digital design divide with Adobe. One of my favorite ways to address the digital design divide as an educator by using Adobe products is actually to check out the Adobe Education Exchange. On the Adobe Education Exchange website, you will find teaching resources, professional learning, and a community of educators just like you. So to get to the website, go to edx.adobe.com. We're going to click on professional learning here. And we're actually going to click on self-paced courses right here. So click on that. Here you'll see the full library of professional learning available. On the left-hand side, you can sort it by a number of filters. Time to complete, if you want to focus on a specific product like Express or one of the more complicated programs like Photoshop. But I want to show you the 30-minute courses. So I clicked on 30 minutes. These are the Adobe Lightning Learning courses. 30 minutes, quick deep dive into using Adobe Express to do one of these different learning activities with your class. So building a community with Adobe Express, digital portfolios, teaching science, like a whole bunch, dozens of different ideas to dive in deeper and address the digital design divide in your own learning. Another way to address the digital design divide using Adobe is actually inside Adobe Express itself. So head over to express.adobe.com and log in. What we're going to focus on is these guided activities. So if you click on the guided activities, there are lots of different activities that they've created, which is essentially a template with step-by-step videos and instructions on how to create that product, but also like how to learn the different features in Adobe Express. So this is a great learning resource for you as an educator to familiarize yourself with all the many things that Adobe Express can do, but also for your students. So they get to create something cool and they also get step-by-step instruction on how to do it. So check out the guided activities inside Adobe Express. Last but certainly not least, another way to address the digital design divide is our very own website, digitallearning.durhamdistrict.org. We update it monthly with tips and tricks and teaching ideas with each of the big 6 tools. So if you go to digitallearning.durhamdistrict.org, and right here on the front and center is our big 6 tab. You can click Adobe for EDU and find the archive of monthly updates, learning with Adobe, and improving your skills with the digital design divide.